Hi everyone, welcome back. I posted some pictures. Friday is my play day, and I posted some pictures on Facebook last Friday about a collage I'd done. Ooh, and I got quite a few people asking me my way of doing it. So this is it. Now this is what I tend to use as my glue book. It's actually an A4 size book, so quite big. But I find it harder to work big scale, so for me this is a bit more of a challenge. So if I just sort of, it's where I try out different things. I've got loads of bits. This one was, I tried it, I hated what I'd done, so I ripped bits off, and actually I really liked it after I'd ripped bits off it. So this is my ideas, but there's backgrounds that I've tried that I haven't got anywhere. I discovered Dinah Wakely and Jane Davenport, and I tried doing the faces, varying degrees of success. This is quite amusing because I'd stenciled a pattern underneath. When I painted the skin tone on the top, she's turned out like me with vitiligo, which I thought was quite appropriate. And then that was the actual picture that I posted on Facebook. If I pull it down, that's it. So I know I won't be able to recreate but I can certainly use the elements to show you what I've done. I tend to go every other, and then I'll draw or paint or do something inside. So those are the pages I'm going to be using. Now what I've done is I pull out I have a whole great big massive tub of scraps, and I've decided I am going to start using them up, and this was my way of doing it. So tonal pages, so roughly they roughly go together. So there are loads of bits of blanks, and yet more bits. And then I bought some rice paper, and I thought perhaps, because I printed on tissue, which is what those are. And yep, I can decoupage those into place, that's fine. And then these ones, this is a bit thicker. I think I actually prefer the back of it. That's rice paper, for Japanese rice paper for the drawings that you do. And I'm like, they're rubbish for decoupaging, but they do make good backgrounds. And I can run up, see what I wanted was something to run through the printer without having to go through the hassle of having to tape tissue paper to normal paper to run it through the printer. In my laziness and quest to find something to make it go a bit quicker. It didn't work, but yeah, they're all right. So we've got book pages, I've got these scraps, a bit more book pages. These, I think, were some kind of paint swatch at the time. So I've got loads of those, the green ones, because they're going to go with what I want to do. And yet more bits. I find starting big. So because this is going to be fairly green, I'm going to actually rip this one in half, I think. Now I know I want those to show, so maybe like that, possibly. Oh yeah, let's go for the man. Oh, I quite like him there. I want him to show, so I do a kind of basic layout, sort of, maybe. I want those there. Oops. So get rid of those book pages. Now it's just a question of ripping it up. I start with big bits first. I don't want that. And there is actually something very therapeutic about ripping bits of paper. I use multi-medium matte Ranger or whatever's on my desk. And because this is on my desk, this is what's being used. I haven't done anything to the page. So there's no gesso on it or anything. This should seal it as I'm going along. I think there were just so many ways of actually doing these. Let's get rid of that white piece. It is very much a question of coming up with your own way of doing it. I know that's not what people want to hear. I don't think there is a particular formula. Apart from, for me, I start big and fill in the gaps after. I think that's the only way I found of doing it. I'll save that one till after. Oops. What we got? That bird's nice. I'm not too fussed about taking off the white bits either. Right, I want the birdie. I don't know where I want him. Maybe not there. What else we got? Let's fill some bits in. Yeah, start from the centre. I think this is why I enjoy this so much, because you are allowed to be a big kid, and that's great. I think we all need a bit of that. I fold it obviously in the centre just to make sure I can still close my page after. What else we got? Maybe start overlapping. And then maybe we got room. That's a bit wide. Hey, I don't know what the weather's like. It is proper autumn here. Proper autumn. We've got rain. We've got my husband had to ice his car, de-ice his car the other morning. Mind you, that was down towards London rather than up here. But yeah, proper. Ooh, that bit looks a bit too. a bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Square. So let's make it less square. That's better. I suppose the other reason for using this this multi-medium is it actually seals everything as well. So if I want to go in and put paint on, not a problem. It won't ruin the papers underneath. Who says your papers have to be up the right way? Okay, and that's the process. It's just following it through. Right, that's not going to work as a whole. This paper is brilliant for ripping off lengthways, and then I rip my hair out with it when I'm doing it across. Right, we have a gap in there. Messy play, I think that's what this is called. Right, could do with a big bit down the bottom. I sometimes wonder if I should just tear pieces ready to get rid of the square edges. Right, so if I want this to go in there, what else have we got? That one doesn't quite work. There it is. I get into such a state when I'm doing, not a state, that's the wrong word, such a sense of yay that maybe I get a little carried away and I can't find things. Right, let's get rid of that bit so I could still see that. That too. So there is a bit of thought going into it, but you know, sometimes they work so much better when you're not actually thinking about it. Right, and then we can fill that piece in. I don't like that piece. Isn't that always the way? So if I have a piece going here. This paper is actually photo paper. It's things that didn't quite work. And I keep it for this because it doesn't matter in this. It's brilliant. Actually, let's put... Oops. Yeah, that piece. I'll make a nice background up here. Do you know what I should have done, which I haven't? Let's put that in. I'm not fussed about going entirely to the edge. Some people prefer it that way. For me, it's a question of, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, never mind. We can make do. Now I think I've got a place for this one. Yay. Actually, let's put it going across. I can always tear off the bits at the bottom after. Right. Now, a little piece to fill that one in. Nope. It's too big. Yay. So it might begin. I don't tend to put these pieces actually on an angle. Whether it's just my particular sort of sense of being... I put them going down, I put them going across. If they're torn at an angle like that one, not a problem. Right, that's that page. Let's have a look over here. Right. Now I wanted this young man to go over here. It does sort of show up underneath, but there's not enough happening for me, I'm afraid. It's not opaque enough. That's the word. Gosh, listen to me. Right, you can go in there. Bear with me. It will start to make sense eventually. That can go down here. And so it goes. I have been having a lot of fun lately with, no, that doesn't look right. I bought myself some scribble sticks, you know, those crayons that are water dilutable. Well, perhaps you don't know. I'd not heard of them until, like I say, I came across Jane Davenport, Diana Wakely. And so I've been having a real play with those. They're quite good fun, although I'm in two minds as to whether they're are they worth it? They are very expensive, and it's like, oh, I bought them as a treat for myself, and I'm still not. I don't know if I'm 100% convinced that they were worth the money. But I thought, you know what? Every so often, you have to go in and treat yourself. Oops. Okay. I haven't actually used any of these greens yet. Maybe that's a bit too... That's not quite nice. Like that. Do you know that's the wrong side of this tissue paper, and I'm wondering if I like... There, that needs to go at the bottom. So stick this one. Yeah, there we go. We're getting there. I don't want this piece on the end, I don't think. Yep. Right. That's a page done, ready for me to put everything else on the top. No, that's not good. I'll tell you what I could do there. So I've got a bit of a gap going on there. I am still on camera here. I have to keep looking up and checking just in case. That provides a nice bit of a contrast. Right, I need to go and dry this, and then I will come back and add on just sort of... I need to tidy up as well, because I end up with so many... I end up with less bits than when I started, which is good. Do you know? Just to break up perhaps those two longer pieces. This is the trouble. but also the beauty of these. You just sort of keep going until it feels right. And if it doesn't feel right the first time, never mind. If you're anything like me, you've got so many scraps. You can just do another one. I like that. That just sort of breaks up the middle. Some little bits on top of the big bits. Yep. Right, I'm going to go, enough gluing. I'm going to go and dry this lot off, and then I will come back and we'll add the main bits. Right, reasonably dry. I did take the opportunity to go and make a coffee. Now, I like to blend my pieces in so it looks more, so just, this is Finnabar Heavy Gesso. And I just go along the edges. No, I'm not particularly worried about it blending in, although you can use your, this is a fun bit, using your fingers. It just, for me, I like it, I like them to sort of, yeah, just sort of look like they belong to each other. But that's, like I say, that's my own sort of personal preference. I do find this stuff very therapeutic. We have a blackbird that's taken up residence. I don't know if you can hear him over my talking outside, but he is like, yeah, I'm here. Now you can be as careful with this as you want, or like me, just enjoy it. Oops, wasn't actually a line there. Never mind. Loose painting, is what they call this. I've been trying out watercolours, and I was, it was driving me nuts because I could not get this, the watercolour to look as I wanted it to. And then it suddenly occurred to me it's because I was trying to make it look realistic. And it was like, oh, I nearly dipped that in my coffee then. And it was quite a revelation for me to sort of go, do you know what? I don't need to make it look realistic. For me, it was, as soon as I realised that, and I could actually, I had permission, if you like, to just to sort of paint a flower. It didn't need to look like a sunflower. There was no need for it to be realistic. It was almost, it was, I have to say, almost liberating. It was very, yeah. And now I actually enjoy doing watercolours, which I have to say maybe I didn't, because, you know, you're under the impression you have to try and... So this is a bit too bright down here, so maybe just knock that back. Right, I think I've got enough in there. What I want to do, or what I normally do, is I have, if I can grab them, I keep loads of fussy cut figures and of ones that I think, ooh, you know, I quite like. But I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, actually, oh, that one might go in. I quite like the picture of the lady, but it looks a little small. She stands out. She could go. That's a bit small. Actually, I'm going to go for that. What I need to do, though, is just, right, if that's going to go in there, I want it to show up a bit more because it is very similar to the backgrounds I've got. So yeah, I love the way that the gesso actually works as a glue as well, so I don't need to. No, just soften up the edges a bit. Right, so I will come back and decorate that one in a moment. I've got some of my printed tissue paper, and I was thinking this, if I can find a little paintbrush, little cherub on here will be the perfect one. So if we just cut him out. Now before I stick him then, so he's going to go up there. I bought a pack of these, oh, ages ago, years probably. They're like fake gold leaf. I bought a huge pack of them. As you can see, I think I've probably used about 5 or 6. So in my quest to use things up, I've been using that as well. So I need a tissue. Drawing the brush off. Don't need that. So back to the multi-medium. And I want him to go in up here, I think. And that's got him stuck there. And then this stuff. Oops. Actually, I shouldn't be using that. I should be using a dry brush for that. Where else have we got some? On my fingers, obviously. And maybe a bit down here. It should still stick to wherever you've got the... And if I just go in and rub off the bits where there's no glue. Makes it look a bit more natural, I think. Yep, that's all set. Okay. And you can use this, instead of drying your papers, you can use this stuff to so if I was just to go in and just randomly whatever's left on my brush, which I don't think is the way it was meant to be, but it just adds a really nice, I think, I know I had some somewhere. And because I've got so much and I've never used it before, and then just knock it back until you get it where you want it. That bit's a bit too thick, but it's what it is. I just love looking at these after I've done them because I can see, it's like an, almost like a night, oh God, it's like a box of frogs, this stuff. Right, I want to highlight these. Right, the brand is Derwent, and I've actually got 3. I've been quite efficient. Got 3 on my desk. So Derwent, and they are, so the brand is Derwent, and they are a pastel pencil. And I've got Brown Earth. I don't tend to use that very much. Burnt Umber and Seal. Seal is more like a black. Now I just like to go in. Now these ladies. Now because they look like they're floating in midair, we put a bit of just a bit of shadow. Underneath them. Oops. She nearly lost her hand then. And definitely some in the middle. then just knock that back a bit. I'm not going to do everything. I think that would be very boring. Just let your pencil follow the edges. And so on and so forth. And that, actually that needs some words, because scissors, where are we? There you go. That is definitely one for this picture. Creativity is intelligence, having fun. And that is so true. So let's get rid of some of these. So that's that one. And that one. Burning ink. It's so quiet. I've got my wind chimes going off because, as I said, it keeps pouring with rain. Let's just use some of this. Actually, might be easier to put it on there. Where are we putting this one? Over here, I think. Try that one for a minute. Okay. I am just, so that's still wet. Oh, I think that's still a bit too wet. Oh. Okay. And I think just to highlight the words, it's a Posca pen, this one. Oh, no. Shake it with the lid on, so it's an oil pen. I think we will just circle that, because that is so true. I could probably do with a word down the bottom. What else have we got? How about, it's not about perfect, it's about effort. think I'll spend more time actually getting these cut out. I had thought of, I watched quite a few videos where the ladies speed everything up and do a voiceover, and I thought about that, and then I thought, ooh, no. Probably because if I'm honest, I probably couldn't remember what I was doing at the time. I don't have a set formula. This is the problem. It is very much make it up as it goes. Oh, missed a bit. Right, I'm going to use normal glue, I think. That didn't quite work how I wanted it to. Excuse me. Right. Just a bit of normal glue. So if we put it on the green, that is going to show up. And maybe just, I'm into scribbling at the moment, can you tell? Pages. This, what I didn't mention was, well, just before I went off to dry it, I actually just made sure I could fold the pages over. So get rid of that. So there we go. That's my way of doing a collage. Start big, so block out bits, and then start filling in the gaps. If you have a focal, I like to have a focal point, so like these ladies, although looking at it, I should have put some at the back of it, maybe some cloth or some cotton, don't know. This little lad up here, I think I've just put a hole in that. Yeah, start big bits, work in, make them smaller, and then like these sort of bits that go up, and I don't know. I don't know. I am so sorry. That is my version of doing it. Start big, make little. And if you've got something that looks like it's all going the same way and looks a bit boring, put a piece in going down or put a piece in going across. It's about having fun. For me, it's been about finding my style and how I like doing things. Right, well, I hope you've taken something away from this. Ooh, I feel like I've rambled. Anyway, you have fun, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.